see us live and in living color for you guys right there. I'll also share the link to our Love Sports and Hip Hop Facebook page. You can find us at www.facebook.com/Love Sports Hip Hop.
We are now live. The fifth quarter is live on YouTube. New Orleans Saints versus LA Chargers. Instant reaction. Y'all know we get that instant reaction to y'all after every Saints game. Welcome to the YouTube crowd who will be joining us live. If you need to comment, you want to add your take to tonight's show, you got a couple places you can do it. We are broadcasting live on Spreaker. If you're not in front of the computer, you don't want to look at us on YouTube, whatever. I know it's late. You might look, I can listen, but I can't watch. I'm barely holding my eyes open. Thank you for your support. Go over to Spreaker, subscribe, hit the like button, do what you need to do to follow the brand over there. Sports Talk NOLA, the fifth quarter. Let me get that commercial out the way because they ain't paying us to be advertising on the network. So we got to get them out the way. We can't do that.
Well, they are not.
Yeah, we can't do that. But we are indeed live on YouTube. Miss Sneak, the lovely Miss Sneak. Tell everybody, hey, on YouTube.
What up, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Sneak. Welcome to the fifth quarter. We are here discussing the Saints-Chargers game on Monday Night Football. Got your boy, J.R. Leeds.
Yep.
Tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. Hey, look, 3-2. I didn't panic. I'm gonna be honest. I never panicked. I was gonna have an interesting take had we lost, but I just kind of figured, even though we were down like 20-3, and I'm being very honest, that we would come back. And not only did I figure we would come back, I got something for you guys. And let me see if Miss Sneaky, if you heard what I heard during the game. One of the people in the broadcast booth or the broadcast team, I believe it might have been Brian Greasy, said that we may be in for more football. And I was like, wow, that's a pretty interesting take so early in the game. I know for those conspiracy theorists out there who think everything is rigged, you know what I'm saying? It kind of was predicted that tonight's game will go to OT. I ain't lying. If you DVR the game, go back and listen, you will hear the broadcasters say, we got some extra football. And indeed, we ended up having a little extra football. Did you hear that?
I did not hear that.
Okay.
I did think that we were going to go into overtime when that PAT was missed, though. I was in here watching the game with a friend, and I said that's gonna change the game. That one kick is gonna change the game, and it ended up doing that. I also said when my friend left, he's like, "Good luck." I said, "Oh, we won. We already won." So I called it. I didn't really panic. We're a second half team. We've been that way for a while now. But there are a lot of things that I saw that made me very nervous. And I can't wait to get into that because my timeline was going crazy with the take Drew out chants. They were not really feeling it.
Let's start there. Let's start there. First of all, I think y'all out here tripping. I think it's disrespectful. I think it's crazy. I think y'all are panicking. Anybody that thinks the Saints should be benching Drew Brees right now, I dare say that you need to go get tested for some extracurricular activities and just keep that test to yourself because your job may not like that you own the stuff that you own. Drew Brees is a Hall of Fame quarterback, right? And his play is not to the level where it's poor enough. And it's not even poor. I'm not even going to use that. But all right, let me give you some help. If you think it's not up to Drew Brees' par, right? He's not the reason why the Saints have lost 2 games. So the only reason why you bench your quarterback is when you feel like your quarterback is losing games. And Drew Brees is not the issue as it relates to the Saints not being an undefeated team or a team with just 1 loss. We have a lot of other issues before we talk about a Drew Brees. That's just my take. I had the same thing happen, and I had the text messages coming in, bench Drew Brees, et cetera, et cetera. And the man ended up throwing for 300-plus yards. He's going to get his stats. He got his touchdown, led the team in overtime down to 3 points. I just ain't trying to hear it. And bench him for who? Bench him for, Jameis Winston, who led the league in interceptions last year. He did lead the league in yardage. I get that. But Drew Brees came back for 1 season, and y'all want to see the man watch from the sideline? That's how y'all want him to end his career? Like he's playing that bad? That's crazy. Your take. What you think?
I personally feel the same way. I feel like we are in this state of we just want what we want right when we want it as fans. And it's like, oh, okay, he's not passing like we think he should be passing. Let's get him out of there. But it's like, dude, like to your point, for who Who right. Every time Sean Payton puts Taysom Hill into the game, I get nervous. My heart starts beating fast. I don't know what's about to happen and it's usually at some of the most obscene times, like third down. Like it's just too much. So, and then again, Jameis Winston hasn't shown me anything this year. So I mean, yeah, he did his thing last year, but he did his thing on both sides of the era of the ball. So. Right. I don't know. I just feel like we just got to let Drew get into his pocket. Thomas needs to get his shit together. He needs to get his life together and get back into rotation so we can get this rhythm going. Right. But I'm okay with where he is as far as like his quarterbacking right now.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, we share the same sentiments there. I think, we have to talk. He's already saying that Drew Brees has to be consistent. Well, his career is Hall of Fame consistent. And that's the point that we're making. We have to allow that quarterback to lead the Saints. Like, you switch out a quarterback and you think that's the end of the deal, then you have an issue. If you think that's what the Saints need to do. For me, I think the Saints defense giving up a league leading, and it was at the point of the broadcast where they said the Saints had given up 19 penalties that equaled first downs. I may have counted. They may have gotten up to 21. They definitely got at least 20 before the game was over with tonight. To me, that's a bigger issue. When you look at, it's 21 because you look at the special teams era, the kid Washington, the Saints force a 3 and out, and they're down at the time by a little less than a touchdown. And this kid roughs the kicker. They go down and score a touchdown. And so that doesn't happen. You have a pass interference call. Or a roughing the passer call, that moves the ball again. And so it's those things that are not helping the Saints when they need to get off the field. The defense is not getting off the field. The secondary is not playing well. And I'm more concerned with that than Drew Brees.
Yeah, we give up way too many yards in penalties. We gave up 60 yards today just off of 5 penalties. That's ridiculous. It's just we are giving up way too much yardage, and we're putting the other teams into positions. Like you said, we were in the process of getting the ball back, and then you just give it right back to them with the first down, and it's like, well, dude, like, why are we here?
What for? Right. What for? Yeah. What for? So, and those are the things that when you're a championship team, against better teams as the season will progress, you can't do that. You can't do that because you won't have the fortune in some of those contests to come back and win the game. And so the good news is, and we don't want to sound like, Debbie Downers or Dan Downers if we want to be fair, you know what I'm saying? The Saints are 3-2. They sit at the top of the division. The Atlanta Falcons are 0-5. They released their GM. They got rid of their coach. And so, that situation in Atlanta is definitely under rebuild. But if you're the Saints, as you mentioned Michael Thomas, and we all, heard about what happened with Michael Thomas. He had an altercation and with one of the Saints players, Gardner, and he ended up hitting homie, and the Saints had to sit him down.
Wasn't there the initial argument with Jenkins?
I'm not sure. I did read a little something about that might have happened. I'm not sure. I'm just, look, it happens. If you're around football long enough, there's so many guys on the team that everybody don't like each other. One, there's so many different beliefs, et cetera, et cetera. Personalities are going to clash. And so I'm not alarmed by that. It's not good, but hey, I mean, come on, let's look at the bright side of it. If you want to say there's a bright side of it, since the Saints indeed did win, Thomas now gets an extra week this week and next week before he has to come back and play. And I think at that point, he'll be fully healthy. The Saints will have an opportunity to look at what they need to do better, i.e. get those penalties, yardage way down and get those infractions way down. And make a run, man. We're expecting the Saints to make a run. But back to the Thomas thing, when I heard it, I was disappointed. I'm glad Sean Payton decided to hold Thomas to a standard there. But I think the Saints benefit by having him sit down because an ankle injury is one that if you come back too soon, that thing will hamper you for the entire season. What was your thoughts on that whole thing with Thomas?
I mean, I get that. I feel as though because of the type of season that we're in, and we really just don't have any games to give up, you need to make yourself available. Like LeBron said last night, the one thing that you can do for your team is be available. And when you put yourself in these positions because you're immature, you can't control your emotions in that instance. It could have been detrimental. There were a couple of looks that went to Cooks that didn't go over well that would have initially gone to Thomas. And I think with Thomas and Sanders on the field at the same time, we would have had much more of an advantage and we wouldn't have been fighting the rookie quarterback for the win in OT.
I think that's a very fair take. Emmanuel Sanders, to me, I think him and Drew Brees have found what works for them. I don't know if you find that with Thomas on the field. And I'm not saying today's game, maybe for the first 5 games, I think Drew Brees just sees Thomas as a blanket, somebody he can rely on and lean on and keep close. But having Emmanuel Sanders step up in the way that he did, and we saw the kid Smith, Tre'Quan Smith. Last week, he had a really big game. This week, he disappears on a particular play. He actually fell down in the middle of a route that could have set the Saints up to go score a touchdown in OT to win the game. And these are the things I'm talking about as far as a player like that, not having the consistency from him is important. We did, in fact, though, we got a few people back. Marshawn Lattimore came back.
Yeah,
and say it one more time. I couldn't hear you.
My baby made a big play. Make it happen.
He came back. You know, he also gave up a big play. We could have lost. Like we could have been 2-3. That's what your baby did, by the way. He almost lost the game. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to address Marshawn Lattimore in a minute, but we also got Marcus Davenport back, and the Saints pass rush did look effective against the Chargers tonight. The Chargers were down a few offensive linemen. They are playing against a rookie quarterback. But to me, the Saints did put enough heat on that young stud. I think he's a stud. I think Herbert's going to be really, really, really good. He told your baby, I think ass is okay. I think I can say that. I think he tore his ass up tonight. And Marshawn Lattimore is looking more and more like a disappointment after his rookie year. He made the tackle, great. But when your team trusts you in that spot at the end of that game to cover Williams, and you just let that guy, you don't even jam him. I mean, you heard the guy in the broadcast booth. I'm saying the same thing. You know, I know I coach a little football, and I ain't trying to say I'm NFL caliber, but I ain't saying I couldn't be neither at the same time. Let me make that be known right now. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even put no hands on the man. He just let him get past him and get down the field and catch a great pass. And if that kick goes through, we don't get the OT. So I feel you, you know, but I got to mention the other side of that as well, since we're talking, you know, improvements. Marshawn Lattimore need to improve himself a whole lot between now and the start after the bye.
Well, we got Chuck in the comments already. He's active. He has a few things he wants to say. He says Drew has to be consistent. Mm-hmm. And he goes on to say Payton is the problem. If the Saints play balanced ball, I think they'll be all right. There's a few more, but I don't know if you want to touch in on all that because he's kind of jumping around. I don't want to,
he talked about Smith. Smith is, you know, to me again, Smith, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. I need consistency from Smith. Marcus Williams must go. Yep, that's a continual theme that we'll be talking about. And if you've been listening to me for the years that I've been doing this broadcast thing, I've said over and over and over, Marcus Williams had to go. And I had a lot of sympathizers, Mysnique being one of them. Initially, when he was a rookie, that baby a rookie, he felt bad. He's sad. He continues to look pathetic. And I'm not talking about him personally. I wish the brother nothing but success and blessings in his life. But he gets paid a lot of money to be terrible as an NFL professional. And so maybe if he goes someplace else, he'd get better and he'd find maybe it's a different scheme. I don't know. But homie he ain't right. And he's cost the Saints countless of times, and he looked bad again tonight, and I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it.
You just don't like that boy. And
I have nothing personal against him. I just look at his game, and I'm calling it straight.
Get it. We were on our way to the Super Bowl. I understand, but good grief. You stay on that boy's neck.
Oh, absolutely. I'm telling the truth. I got to tell the truth. I have to be honest about what I'm saying. And see, this is what I'm saying about fandom. and I know Chuck is very active in our chat room. We appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer who's won a Super Bowl.
Right.
You have to respect the skins on the wall. That's the difference. Drew Brees has been playing 20 plus years. There's no comparison between him and Marshawn Lattimore. That's not a comparable there. You know, if you want to say something, you got to bring somebody in a room that's, you know, done a few things. He had a very good rookie year in Marshawn Lattimore. And if you look at what's happened with him since, his play has been inconsistent. He's got a lot of personal fouls. His technique has been slipping. His focus doesn't look near as good. And I said near, that's a New Orleans word. If you don't know what now mean, I mean, it ain't good. It don't look as good as it used to. You know what I'm saying? And I know he was in the Pro Bowl last year. A lot of that stuff has come by recognition. That come by name. You know, he got the nod. He's not playing at the level that we saw him play at as a rookie, where he won Defensive Rookie of the Year. And he needs to lead that back secondary group along with Malcolm Jenkins. Let me ask you about Malcolm Jenkins, Ms. Neek. Mm-hmm. What do you think about his play?
There were a couple of plays that I felt like he should have made. Like he almost caught an interception. He just did not bring it in. I think that would have been a game changer, at least at that moment in where we were on the field. He's a little slow, in my opinion. He gets beat on his routes way more than he should. But everybody seems to jump on that bandwagon. I'm not really a fan of him, though.
Okay. All right. For me, you know, I'm not disturbed. You know, it's a new group. You didn't get a chance to play, you know.
We can't keep leaning on them. We didn't get to play. I mean,
you're right. You're right. Okay. All right. I won't give him he's a professional.
We can't keep leaning on that.
It's a new group. He is with a new group. Okay. That does matter. But I get what you're saying, because the secondary is a lot about communication. There's a lot of talking back there that has to happen. And you got to have a chemistry with each other to play well. All right. And, you know, I've seen Malcolm. He's got skins on the wall. He's won 2 Super Bowls. And he was a big part of Philly's Super Bowl. He rode the wave in New Orleans when he was here. He was a part of that. Darian Sharper and Alvin Harper secondary. And those 2 guys pretty much kind of held it up. And then he was the third wheel, you know, in the secondary at safety during that time. But he definitely was a big part of Philadelphia's Super Bowl run, right? And so with some new guys, some young guys, no excuses. I like Malcolm, though. I'll be honest. That's one of my players that, for me, there is a bias towards. I will say I like Malcolm Jenkins because of everything that he stands for off the field. You know, so I'm going to be honest. It's very hard for me to say something.
That approach just because he stands for something off the field, because LeBron stands for a lot of stuff off the field.
Don't bring that man up on this show right now. Do not bring LeBron James up on this show right now.
I'm just gonna say that because that you showing your bias right there.
All right, wait up. I need to respond to that since the Lakers won that fake ass YMCA championship they won last night. Because I've been very quiet about it, okay? Because I actually do like what LeBron is doing off the court. All right, I do like how he's representing, but I honor and respect that championship. Not at all. I can't give that no respect. I can't. Nah. Why not? I mean, I just said it. You know, the NBA, much like, and this will kind of correlate to what we're talking about in the NFL. And I'll also go over to Spreaker as we have a comment from the missus. She's talking about Lattimore saying that he got to go. So we'll come back to that. She did talk about Lattimore and his inconsistent play. I think in general this season, and this is a fair comment for both the NFL and NBA and MLB, it's very hard to truly judge the performances in quiet arenas, in quiet gyms. Those things are a part of the atmosphere in sports. And what makes sports so great, the crowd reactions, the pressure of the crowd, the pressure of the moment, the traveling, on the road, home field advantage, home court advantage, all those things matter. When you watch the MLB, you know, watching the pitcher come up and trying to throw a guy out, and the crowd is going crazy for the last out to get to the World Series. And the guy is up at bat and he's feeling all the nerves and you can hear all of the energy. That matters. Like that, to say it doesn't matter and to be dismissive of it, I think it's to ignore it. It doesn't matter who would have won a championship in the NBA. And I'm having a hard time, even with the NFL, when you have teams who have a few people in the stadium, those who don't have any in the stadium, a few teams that have a couple thousand in the stadium. Those things become advantages. Okay. And so for me, I'm one that I don't know how to receive playing in one gym, playing with no crowd, and saying, okay, we winning a championship and we're not doing what all the other champions have done since the NBA has crowned a champion, or the NFL for that matter. Since we're on the fifth quarter, this is a Saints show, but I'm gonna be consistent. I got a problem with that.
In your opinion, this season, all of these seasons are just like
there's an asterisk. There's an asterisk next to it. I do think no matter who wins, as we're going the way that we're going right now, I mean, you would have to say so, because let me give you an example. One of the greatest moments in Saints history happened when the crowd was a part of being electric, and that was against the Minnesota Vikings. Brett Favre, is in position to kick a game-winning field goal to get the Saints out. And in a quiet gym, I'm gonna tell you right now, I was at the game. There's no way the Saints beat the Vikings in a quiet dome. The dome was a major part of that game. False start, they push him back 5 yards, and then here comes the play that everybody knows. Brett Favre throws across his body. Tracy Porter picks the ball off and helps get the Saints into overtime. So if we're going to benefit from it, and we know the value of home field advantage, this is me being unbiased. Now, it may work to my argument of discrediting LeBron's chase of being the GOAT. That may work for that. But, for people who want to be fair, because you can't have it both ways. We have home field advantage. Y'all know the crowd going to be turned up, and we're going to have an impact on the game. And then these guys are playing in gyms and on fields with none of that. And it's like, okay, well, how do we evaluate this? Now, how do we, what's up? So that's my take.
I get that. I mean, but we've been saying that since the beginning, but at the same time, we have to give some kind of credence to the fact that it's a little different now, because the opposite side of the ball, they're used to having that 13th man, like having that extra oomph behind them, that energy, that electricity behind them, and they don't, but they still have to execute. So, I mean, it impacts both sides of the ball. Now, it might impact one a little bit more than the other, but we still have to give credence to what it's doing.
I agree. I think both sides, but that's why fans are so important to the professional experience. It's a big deal. And I think it's not, and I think more people should just say it. But you know why a lot of people are not saying it? The ESPNs of the world, the Foxes of the world, they have handsome contracts that they have with these professional leagues. So of course they're not going to say that this is a discredited situation. They're not going to do that. But I guarantee you this, if COVID is still a factor, and we all pray to God it's not, I'll show you just how much they really think of it. When it's time to renegotiate their deals with these professional leagues, they're not paying the same amount of money they've been paying if they have to play in one gym and these games are like they are, because the finals, just like the NFL across the board, it's down. And I think it shows you people want fan engagement. People want to feel like they are part of the event. Those things matter. Those things matter.
Absolutely. We can't discredit that. But at the same time, we have to be healthy and keep
right. And I'm okay with that, which is why they should have just called it the Kobe Bryant Honorable Trophy this year. I would have had no problem with them saying, here come a tournament, we're going to play in honor of Kobe Bryant. Don't give me we're playing 7 games or we're playing for the title and y'all going to the same damn gym every day. Like, I'm not trying to hear that. Like, wouldn't you say that if I had to travel on the road to a different arena, learning the spots of the floor, dealing with the crowd, all those things make a difference in those close games and all of those things, right? So, while I love us and I know what it's really all about, that's why I ain't really said nothing online. I'm letting y'all have y'all moment. I am in love. I love Kobe. Y'all know I love Kobe Bryant. I get all of that. It's fake, man. I can't. Let me show you how much I love Kobe, by the way.
That's not even necessarily the issue with the NFL, though. Oh, he got a Kobe Bryant. If you guys are listening on Spreaker, he's holding up his Kobe Bryant Mamba Mentality book.
Right. So, that's my dude. This is my dude, right? But nah, bro. I got to see you win one the right way.
The NFL is traveling. Don't do that.
Yeah, they are. I give them credit.
They are traveling. They're moving around, which may or may not be hurting or helping them because these COVID cases keep popping up.
All right. And good point. Very good point, because you had Cam Newton miss time and other players are missing time. The Tennessee Titans, their game had to be delayed. So it's having, an effect. But I mean, come on. Like for instance, tonight, and even the game against Green Bay, those are two primetime games. And think about this. Let's bring it back to the Saints. Green Bay and the Chargers both come into primetime games in New Orleans. We go 1-for-1. Now, with Green Bay in the stadium, Aaron Rodgers is good enough to beat us with that crowd. He is. But you got to think that with that crowd in there, that's an added boost to the Saints possibly winning that game. Right?
Well, we said that the week before. Like, it
right.
was terrifying to come in the dome.
Right.
Ignorant. We loud. We go hard. We go scream at you, your mama, and your auntie them, and everybody back at the house gonna hear us too.
Right.
So I mean, I get it, but we are in a completely different time at this point.
Right.
And I think the hardest part about this season is the adjustment.
Right.
Is not having, like I said, not having that electricity. It's like, you're basically just running a couple practice routes every 15 minutes. Like it's just not the same. Then
you think about the distractions. And I know you want to bring in some comments here. I'm pretty sure we have some coming in. You think about the distractions that at least happened. And I know we're touching on a few different things. It's what we do in the fifth quarter. You think about the stoppage of play that the NBA had. You think of, during or due to COVID. Then when they went on strike for all of one game, just one game. Okay. Okay. I'm like, what are we doing? So for me, again, I know people will take it and say, okay, this is another shot Jay throwing at Brian. I actually know I've been very good. I've not said anything discrediting via my social media. I've been very quiet. I've been consistent in that. Whether he won or lost, I didn't say anything during the entire playoffs because I thought that the NBA playoffs specifically, I didn't respect it because of the amount of time that they were down and then them competing against the NFL. Think about it. Last night, you had a great game between the Vikings and the Seahawks on. At the same time, the Lakers and the Miami Heat are playing, right? And so we're not used to that. It kind of changed the dynamics of a lot of things there. So for me, I am not one to say that. It doesn't matter. I will say this to my conspiracy theorist people. If you're the NBA and you had to validate this title, how do you do it? You validate it with a team or an organization that has won so many titles and a gigantic fan base that you could get away with them winning it, and it would seem legit. I don't respect it. And I think there needs to be a lot of other people to come out and say, hey, look, LeBron played well. And it does not take anything away from those guys and what they did performing under extreme circumstances. Let me say that too, to be fair. But this ain't no damn NBA championship. I can't do that.
Well, I can't speak to that too much because I don't watch basketball. I was in here watching the football game. I dozed off. I woke up.
See that?
And it was like 4th of July times Memorial Day times Pearl Harbor.
You don't even know how to act. LA should do better. They should know better than that.
They went crazy with the fireworks out here yesterday. It was ridiculous.
They should know better than that. Now, I'm going to be consistent. If the Saints or the NFL doesn't move to having fans as a major part of these games, I am going to be consistent and say the same thing. I'm telling y'all now, I'm going to come on air and I'm going to say, look, I don't feel good about this. I need to have the real experience.
So even if the Saints win the Super Bowl,
with no fans, keyword, no fans.
With no fans in the stadium, you gonna come out and say, it's not good enough. It's not real.
All right, now wait a minute. What's my name?
Your name is Jay Orleans.
Right. So I'm a ride for my city. I'm a ride for my city. That's just how that's gonna go. You feel me? I love my city. You understand?
That's what I thought. So Chuck is in the comments and he's going crazy right now, so I don't want to lose too much. But he says Drew has to get the ball down the field. The funny thing is, I saw a lot of this in my Twitter timeline, on my Facebook timeline, that Drew wasn't passing long enough. And then it just seems like he heard all of y'all. And Jared Cook, what I thought was the play of the game, which is the 41 strike down. 41
Absolutely.
Down the field, fourth quarter, like 11 minutes left. in the game to tie the game. And I was like, okay, Drew heard y'all. And he was like, hold on, let me show you something real quick. Let me get this down here real quick.
I wish they stop hating on my dog. You know, I get it. He'd like to throw the ball down the field too. And look, he can't throw but 45, 50 yards down the field. We all understand that. The key to all of it is the same type of scheme plays. And here's the deal. Chuck brought up a great point. My son actually noticed it live. There was a particular play where Drew had somebody coming straight down the seam, and he missed a guy that was wide open. I'm more concerned with some of those misses because he just seems to not, have confidence in all of his receivers, that he's not looking for those guys. That is alarming.
Do you think it's a lack of confidence in his receivers or a lack of confidence in his arm?
I think it could be a little bit of both. I think if he thought he had Michael Thomas times 4, he just throw that thing out there and see what happens. But he knows he doesn't throw that ball with the same RPMs as he used to, but it's good enough to win if the Saints scheme accordingly. That's the key. You need a team effort. Drew Brees by himself. For all of y'all Saints fans looking to see Drew Brees carry the Saints on his arm to a championship, that ain't going to happen. I don't need him to do that for the Saints to win a title, though. I don't need that. I need the running game to be strong. I need the offensive line to play well. I need the defensive line to get pressure. I need the secondary to complement the Saints offense by getting turnovers. I need the special teams to play elite. I don't want to miss field goals that we should make. We don't need fumbles on kickoff returns and punt returns. And if you can manage those things, Drew Brees is a smart enough quarterback that he can play in February for you. He can do that. But it's got to be a collective team effort. So for all of y'all have been trained to put all of it on Drew's back. And what needs to happen is you have to evaluate the collective, understanding his limitations, because he is limited. I'm not sitting here saying he's not limited. He is. He's a different type of guy. Right. But, for me, I think Sean Payton needs to do just a little bit better job of scheming the game to not overexpose Drew Brees, where you're thinking that you got the Drew Brees of 10 years ago, and this guy is, approaching mid-40s now. Like he's getting up in age, and I'm impressed by what he's able to do at the age he is now. You know what I'm saying? So, look, play complimentary football, and the Saints will do well. When Sean Payton gets out of pocket, and we talked about, I want to get your opinion about this with Taysom Hill. Pulling in Taysom Hill in certain spots, maybe breaking some of the rhythm or forcing Taysom Hill to be a part of the story. I was with it. I understood it. It seems like the league has studied the tendencies. They understand what we're wanting to do. Yeah. And I'm not with it no more. I just rather have Drew out there.
I think for me, it's getting a little bit predictable. So they know exactly where he's going. He's not going to, it's a rare occasion he's going to go for passing. If he does, he's not going to, his completion rate is entirely too low. Like they put him in some of the weirdest positions too. It was 3rd and 4 late in the game. And of course, he ran in for the touchdown on 9 yards, but that's only because Alvin Kamara drew all the defenders off to he created that lane. But there are times where he stumbles, he'll trip himself up. It almost feels like he is feeling the pressure of what everyone around him is saying and stumbling in the game because he thinks he's going to prove them right. So at that point, if your confidence is off, it doesn't make sense for me to put you in, especially in the times that he decides to put Taysom Hill into the game.
Very good point. And it's to validate the contract. There are other things that are going on there. And look, do I appreciate the uniqueness of a player that Taysom Hill is? Yeah. Does he look awkward playing quarterback, in my opinion? Yeah. I think so. He's not. I just heard you just word. He's not a quarterback. I don't think so at all. I think he's just he's a football player that can do a few things in a few different spots. And if you value that on your team, he's a luxury. And you play him and you pay him as such. But look, the Saints are 3-2. They 3-2. I think we're going to be okay. We're going into a bye. I'm looking at some comments. I don't go backwards. Chuck did have a question, though. He asked me real quick, what kind of defense were the Saints playing? Mostly zone man-to-man, Tampa 2, explaining these defenses. They play more man, cover 0 tonight than anything. They didn't really zone this guy up a lot. I mean, they threw a few zone looks at him. And cover 2 is just another version of a zone defense, a zone package. So the Saints kind of did a little bit of that with him tonight, but mainly they brought that heat to him. They figured that they could, especially when Keenan Allen went out. And let me address that. When Allen went out, who's a stud receiver, he's what Michael Thomas is to us, to them. Okay, when he went out, you figured the Saints would have an advantage with our secondary being as savvy as they are, as experienced as they are. But the quarterback, give credit to that quarterback, man. He made some plays tonight a little easier in the dome when you don't have that heat in there, But he did make some plays tonight, and I tip my cap. Like the Chargers, to say that we should be embarrassed by a close game. I mean, look, I know Tampa is new as it relates to all of their players, but and Brady being in place, et cetera. But they jumped up on them too, and they won't, so that's a young team. Go ahead.
He gets 2 back-to-back Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Right.
He played exceptionally well.
Yeah.
But I am curious to see, since we're talking crowd noise, how he folds.
Mm-hmm.
The crowds are back into the
right.
It's a completely different game.
Right.
Completely different game. But I am curious to see. But overall, he looks good. He's solid. He just makes a couple of rookie mistakes, but he's a rookie. So what do you expect from him?
Right.
But he's gonna do well. I'm just curious to see how he plays in a real NFL season.
Absolutely. Point well taken. Let me ask you this. And I know you watch a lot of football. After the first few weeks here, and we'll get to our Beignets. I know we got to hand them out. Who's up for that? Before we go further, we ain't got to spoil it and say who we're giving it to. Who do you think's up for the Beignets tonight? I got Drew Brees up there, man.
You got Drew Brees up? I actually got Sanders up.
Okay, all right.
I feel like he showed up tonight. I was proud of his performance tonight.
All right.
Yeah, what he needed to do.
Anybody on defense? Cause they was bringing it out. All right.
I didn't have too many defensive moments where I was like, right.
Okay.
We cinched the game at the end, but you don't really like Lattimore as much as I do. So
I think there's a different critiquing going on there. Now, look, the brother is talented. He's a talented, just naturally talented. And I pulled for him because I was made aware of his story with him and his dad. And I'm big on that. When I see fathers and sons building together, I think that's a beautiful thing. But I do think that his play has trended downward, and it's not good because he's got all the physical tools to really be a really good shutdown corner. I don't know if it's that he doesn't trust the group that he's with, if he's nervous looking at, Marcus Williams, because he legitimately sucks. See, I'm not saying it about Marshall Lattimore. I'm saying Williams sucks. He's got to go. He may need a change of career plan, save every single penny that you made from the NFL. Because if I'm an NFL coach or GM watching him play, he doesn't get another job. That's just how I feel about it. He's going to be coaching high school football in the next few years. That's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest. So maybe, you know what? I might have to say I'm sorry to Marshawn. I might have to take a little bit back. I'm going to take some back? I'm going to take some back because he's on the field with Williams. And when you're on the field with Williams, everybody probably nervous. I understand his mindset. Speaking of, did you see Patrick Robinson give up that big ass bomb?
I'm just ridiculous. There's nobody on defense that I'm proud of today. Like, he should have got an IAT. Robinson got burnt 64 yards and on a pass. Like, it was just too much. It was too much. Our defense looks ridiculous right now, and I'm okay with some of the plays that we make, but if we are not consistent, we look good for a couple of downs and then we just completely fall off, and we fall off at the wrong time.
Drew Brees, 33 or 47 for 325 yards, 1 TD, 1 really, really bad interception. That interception was really bad. And I think that might be the reason why he can't get these beignets, because I'm going to hold him to a Hall of Fame standard. And if he just had 1 touchdown, no INTs in the same stat line, I could throw him in the game with them beignets. But now we can't. I can't do that.
So who you going to get a beignets to?
I'm going to tell you, you absolutely were right. I think we may have. It's 2 people. And it's two people. Let me give you the stat line. Let me show you who did their work tonight. Alvin Kamara, 11 attempts on the ground for 45 yards. He averaged 4.1 yards to carry. You have Latavius Murray, 8 carries, 34 yards. He averaged 4.3. And that bows this question. Drew Brees threw 47 times. Now, I guess the reason why he's throwing 47 times, the Saints got down by so much. So I guess I'm kind of answering my own question. If they're running the ball so well, why do we have 47 pass attempts? When you go down 20-3, that's why you have 47 pass attempts. Emmanuel Sanders, 12 receptions. I'm sorry, go ahead.
First quarter of the game, our offense just we couldn't find a rhythm. We had Kamara had 1 yard off of 3 carries. It was sad. He only had 11 yards on his longest run. So they were really holding Kamara in at least the first half.
Right.
They didn't find a rhythm on the ground until second half.
Correct. Absolutely correct. And I think as you're right, because the stats kind of show improvement in the second half accordingly with that assessment. Emmanuel Sanders, 12 receptions, 122 yards, 14 targets. So he did his thing. Alvin Kamara had 8 receptions for 74 yards. Jerry Cook, 2 receptions, 52 yards. That big touchdown that you talked about, that was the play of the game. Marcus Callaway. And see, this is what I'm telling Chuck about when he talks about Tre'Quan Smith. Callaway, didn't he take on punt return duties tonight as well?
He did.
4 receptions, 34 yards, 6 targets. Not bad. But Tre'Quan Smith, and this is what I'm talking about. Chuck said he played well. 2 receptions, 8 yards, 3 targets.
Yeah, Smith didn't show up. Cook didn't really do too much outside of that touchdown.
Right. I can't do it now. The big homie Cam Jordan on defense, he had a half of a sack, 2 tackles for losses, did okay. Looks like Marshawn Lattimore kind of got busy with the tackling. He was getting beat enough, so he had to bring the guy to the ground. So, I understand him having to tackle a few guys. Yeah. Will Lutz. Can Will Lutz get some love? Can right. Can he get, he went 3 for 3, 53-yard field goal. He ain't missed none tonight. And if he had missed one, we don't win. So I probably hear him saying, look, can I get some love for them beignets tonight? Can I get just a little honorable mention,
We always overlook Lutz. Lutz is clutch. He has won quite a few games for us, so you probably should get some beignets.
Yeah, on a night where the guy missed an extra point and he missed a field goal that would have won the game, our kicker goes 3 for 3 and makes all his extra points. I think you have to say, all right, tonight we notice just how valuable you are, even though we do understand it. And I'm still holding against him the wild card game in January. He missed that kick at the end of the half that would have, held us up. We ended up losing that game, winning overtime. But I'm gonna let him have that mistake. We got to move on because he did do well tonight. So here's the deal. I'm with you, Emmanuel Sanders, but he got to go it on and cut that bag up for my boy, man, Lutz. Lutz, because of tonight with the other kicker, when we had Lutz, I'm gonna give Lutz some love.
We got 2 orders of beignets. They can get their own beignets. They ain't got to split the 3.
All right, we ain't gonna go cheap tonight. They can have their own bag.
Yeah, they got their own bag. We'll give them a beignet and a half.
All right, good luck. All right, so the Saints going forward. Let's talk about the Saints going forward. Obviously, they have a bye week coming up, so that means we'll be off next week. What's your prognosis? I know we talked about the Saints record at the top of the year when we had Big Dub, and he's gone, quiet and, hiding. He's Jimmy Hoffa.
He got a lot to say on social media. He did.
Okay. I ain't touching that. Dub, I ain't touching that. What do you think about the prognosis of the Saints going forward?
I think we look pretty good. I'm excited to see how we come out of this bye week. I think just with us having enough time for everybody to get healthy, us to run a couple more schemes and get to know each other, start to work on that rhythm a little bit more. I think we'll see a little bit more. And then we have a divisional game, so we'll be playing the Panthers when we come back on the 25th. So that's a big game. That's one we have to win. So I think that we're gonna look okay going forward.
I need your consent.
I agree. And somebody trying to come in here and get some love, they ain't gonna get no love right now on this show. But I absolutely agree. I think the Saints will be fine going forward. You got a big matchup coming up against the Panthers in 2 weeks. Yeah. And so I think that Sean Payton after a bye is really, really strong. I think that the Saints will be game. They'll be ready. It'll benefit them to have that bye with a big game coming up. I actually want to give folks a kind of a recap on what happened this week, and maybe if there's a game or something that you thought, oh, I got one right now at the top. We had a guest that joined our show after we lost to the Raiders, and he said that the Raiders would beat the Chiefs. And we all was like, we don't know about that, Yeah. And guess what? The Raiders beat the Chiefs 40-32. First loss of the year for the Chiefs. They hadn't lost in 13 straight games. And finally they dropped one. So that Raiders loss is not looking as bad since they beat us and the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? They don't look as bad.
Yeah.
Not as bad at all. The Rams, impressive right now, 4-1. They ain't playing nobody. The NFC East is the weakest division in football, just plain trash. They played the Washington football team, which that's even sad. That's their name right now. But 30-10 over the Washington football team. The Rams improved their record to 4-1. Washington is now 1-4. Steelers, bet you ain't know this. Steelers are 4-0, 38-29 over the Eagles. Did you know that?
I did.
Nice. Shout out to stability. Like they've been having the same coach over there for a long time, and they don't panic, which is what I'm trying to get the Saints fans to kind of realize. Stop all that panicking, man. Just chill out. Let's let this thing kind of do what it's supposed to do. We thinking that this is Drew Brees last year. Like, chill out.
Yeah, but the Steelers got 5, don't they? So
yeah.
Get a chill when you got 5.
That's a good point. Very good point. Point well taken. Jacksonville Jaguars 14. The Houston Texans get their first win of the season after they fired their head coach. Romeo Crennel takes over that job, formerly of the New England Patriots. He takes over and gets the team their first win of the year. They put up 30 points, held the Jaguars to 14. The Jaguars are a bad team, but hey, a win is a win, right?
Win is a win.
Ravens 27, Bengals 3. Ravens improved their record to 4-1. They seem to be in prime position to get back into the playoffs and set up a very interesting matchup, if it happens. I know it's still early, between them and the Chiefs, and maybe they can figure out a way to get over that hump come playoff time. We'll see, but they are 4-1. Panthers 23, Falcons 16. The Falcons are 0-5. I told y'all I'm staying away from the Falcons. I'm not teasing the Falcon fans no more. I ain't talking bad about the Falcons. The Saints got to win the Super Bowl, and then I'm going to say something about them. But you feel free if you want to tackle that.
I mean, I'm just saying, whatever you say about the Falcons is going to be bad because the Falcons is having a bad season. There's no way to get around it. But, I'm not really focused too much on the Falcons this year, surprisingly. But that's probably because no Falcons fans are reaching out to me. Like, they don't have any.
Quiet. Silence of the lambs. Silence of the lambs.
They're not chirping.
The Dolphins, 43. They went put numbers up on the 49ers in San Francisco. I enjoyed every moment of seeing that. I thought that was excellent, by the way.
The 49ers are going through it this season. They're going to have a tough run.
Yes, they are. Browns, 32. Colts, 23. Browns, 4-1. Colts now 3-2. Odell and them boys is 4-1. Well, that's a surprise, isn't it? I didn't think they'd be 4-1 right now.
I think they were going to be good this year. I didn't think they were going to be 4-1. I didn't think they were going to go that hard, but I thought they would at least 3-2 at this point in the season.
All right, good way to start the season.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to the big topic, which will be Dak Prescott and the Giants in a minute. We'll get there. That'll be the last score that I report. But before that, hell of a game last night. 27-26, Seahawks over the Vikings. And I was getting ready to ask you this question. As of right now, Seahawks are 5-0. Is Russell Wilson right now in the lead for MVP?
I think so.
Yeah.
But Wilson is always underrated. He's such a good quarterback. He's a good leader.
They be hating on that man.
Huh?
They be hating on that man.
Yeah, he's a good leader. He knows how to manage a game. He makes the big plays down the stretch when he needs to. And I think he's underrated. He really does not get the credit that he deserves on the field.
I absolutely agree with you. And I hope that he does win MVP. If a Saints player is not close enough to win it, I actually have always loved his game. I have silently had a long distance crush on the Seahawks for a long time. I couldn't love him because I was a Patriots fan, and I still am sort of kind of a Patriots fan, especially when Cam Newton get his ass gone from away from my squad. Okay. But shouts out to Russell Wilson and the Seahawks and a hell of a game last night. The Vikings, they're 1-4, but they played very, very good and showed that they're capable of being competitive as the season goes forward. Speaking of the season going forward, this is a big one. Cowboys 37, Giants 34. Now, look, the game probably should have been that close. Dallas has a lot of things to work on, but this ain't a Cowboys show. What we will talk about, though, is Louisiana native Dak Prescott played at Mississippi State, SEC guy, had his leg tore up last night. It was very rough. I've seen it before, close to me. I've seen it. He didn't get his paycheck. They franchised him. What's your thoughts on Dak Prescott and his situation with the Cowboys?
I mean, I'm a little encouraged by the statement that Jerry Jones made in regards to him still being the future of the Cowboys. I hope that they pay him.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he can't play, I still hope that they take care of him. The thing that has impressed me most is the outpouring of love from everybody across the league. They just automatically just came out and said that he was an awesome leader and just a really all-around great dude. And, you could tell that he really genuinely loves his team. He was in tears leaving the field. So I really hope that they take care of him. It's just an unfortunate situation because he was balling.
Yes, he was. He was one of those guys. That record was different. He'd be in the MVP running. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I really hope that they do right by him. I think that they will, based on the statement that was released today. But we're looking at like 5 to 6 months of him being out. So
I don't want to see anyone hurt. I don't. I do think that this will start a conversation as it relates to, and it's an ongoing discussion about NFL players and their contracts being guaranteed should they step on the field. If not, I just find it interesting that a team that gave Romo his money, right? Troy Aikman was paid his money. You have, and I'm going to go there. You have an African-American quarterback that's at the forefront of your team, and his game is nitpicked, and you have paid everybody else on the team, and you kind of undervalued him. He gets this injury, and business tells you that if you're the Cowboys now, you don't pay him premium dollars. That's just what business tells you to do. And I think it's unfortunate because we shouldn't be here. I think the young man should have had his future secured. I think that this should be a lesson to a lot of other NFL players that when it's time for you to do your deal, that you understand your value and your worth. I'm not being unfair to Dak. My heart goes out to the situation. I think that he was hurt because he knew when it happened what the deal was. Like your worst fear of, I didn't think that nothing like this could happen, and it's happened, right? And so it's hurt. It's hurtful. I think what you saw from him was the injury, but let me give you a different perspective. It's also, I can't believe they allowed this to happen to me and not pay me. As hard as I play and as hard as I want to go for this team, my future is not even guaranteed, and look at me now. And nobody said that, right? So, Stephen Jones can say what he wants. The outpouring from the players, I think, is genuine. And I think it comes from that place that they understand that they give a lot to entertain, right? And there was a comment I liked that LeBron did tweet after the game, where he used the gladiator line, "Are you not entertained?" And we look at what's going on with the pandemic, other serious issues in our society right now. That's really, really hurtful to me to see that situation happen that way to him. Because I think that prior to the injury, they should have given him his money. Yeah. And any other quarterback playing anywhere else, probably doing what he's done, probably would have had their money already.
I mean, I can agree with that. I do. I just, at this point, we kind of are where we are. We can't really cry over the spilled milk. I'm just curious to see how the Cowboys move forward. If they do him anywhere near as shady as they could, I've completely lost all respect for the Cowboys. And not that I had much for them anyway,
Right.
but you gotta do right by the people that really bust their ass for your organization. And he has been balling this year, showing that he's worth every penny that he asked for.
Ryan P. got a new comment in. Welcome to the family, Ryan. Go on, hit the subscribe button. Go on, show us that love. Ryan says there's no justifying pulling Brees for Hill in the most important moments. He's absolutely right. We've said that. We actually agree with that. I don't understand what Sean is thinking. I don't know what he's thinking, but I ain't really feeling it no more. And can I say this too? We don't have many more Drew Brees snaps. We may have seen the last Drew Brees Monday Night Football game of his career tonight, right? And so let the man play. I think everybody just let him. The Saints were, they didn't award it. We earned it. But the Saints earned the Super Bowl under this guy's leadership. Him and Sean Payton, he deserves the right to go out the way he wants to. The same way I talked about Dak Prescott and the respect that Dak is owed and what he's done in Dallas. I think Drew Brees obviously has much more skins on the wall. It is deserving to end his career walking or running off the field, waving to Saints fans, saluting everybody, and then moving on with the rest of his life.
I mean, I agree with that.
Hopefully with a Super Bowl title,
I mean, I would hope so. I hope we end it out this year. I mean, but anything could happen. Now, before we get up out of here, Chuck has a question, and I'm going to need you to answer that because I don't know the temperature of the city. He says, when will New Orleans let the fans in the dome? What is T.D. Cantrell out there doing? What is Auntie Cantrell, the mayor of New Orleans, the great, beautiful city of New Orleans? What is she doing? Because I know the high school teams are having some people in
right.
the stands. College teams are letting people in the stands. Like, what is the temperature in New Orleans right now?
I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. I'm gonna give you y'all want the real.
I mean, tell us what's happening and then give us your honest opinion. Because I'm not in the city, so I don't know
what's
happening.
Tripping. That's number one. She tripping. She crazy. That's number one. That's what's going on right now in New Orleans. She's crazy. And she power tripping. And it ain't necessary to be acting the way she acting. And she gonna wound up back in Los Angeles cheering from the Saints from LA. Because we're gonna run our ass up on out of here if she don't let us go do what we need to do. I understand we gotta be safe. People ready to go to cheer on these Saints. You can it's an 80,000 seat dome. You can let 25, 20,000, 10, 15,000 people sit 10 damn seats away from each other if you need to. We're going into Walmart, we're walking around in the streets, we're going to work. People got to do different things. There's no reason for us not to be in the dome in some capacity. Now, 70,000, of course, that'd be crazy, all right? But you can't put 10,000 in an 80,000 seat stadium. I mean, come on, she's tripping. And anybody that's not saying she ain't tripping, you just want to have her back because you think she TD. I ain't got time. Look, I cuss my auntie out. If she's my auntie, I'd say, auntie, nah, man, you tripping. And, my mama going to beat you. You know what?
Here's the thing. Y'all don't know how to act in New Orleans. Y'all want to have second lines, DJs. Y'all want to be out.
So you blaming the people?
No, because seriously, y'all out there cutting up. Y'all think I don't know. I'm watching. From way across the air, y'all be out there in droves where y'all ain't supposed to be. Then it spikes. New Orleans was number one in the world for COVID infections because y'all didn't want to sit down. And now you want to rush back into the dome so TD can take the hit for that. That's what's happening?
No, I'm not saying that. I just gave you all the logical reasons why we should be in the dome some way, somehow. And she tripping. And she going to lose. I'm not voting for her. I'm already saying I'm going to be one of the people that say anybody but her. This is what my campaign, and I'm gonna ask some questions. You gonna let us go to the game? That's gonna be my question. That's gonna be very important to me. I don't care. I don't give a damn. Let me go to the game. Look. We are free. We should be able to move the way we want to move. Put on your. Ain't nobody making you buy no damn ticket to the Saints game. A lot of people can't even afford to go to the Saints game. If you want to go to the Saints game and you didn't pay your hard-earned money to go to the damn game, put your mask on. That's what you want to do. Go up to the stadium and enjoy the Saints game. We got people at games at Well, she done got all the people in the car. They going all over the place to have the game. Coach Bryce, he already said, we will remember this. He's upset. He don't like it either. I don't like it. A lot of the people, all these parents don't like it. You letting Jefferson Parish. Look, let me tell y'all something. Mardi Gras going to happen. That's one. Mardi Gras going to happen in Jefferson Parish because she tripping. You got the city in a furlough because she acting crazy and is wild. It is not a good look what she's doing. I don't know if because she got promoted to the WHO or whatever it was. And look, I respect what's going on with this virus, but you got to let the people live as well. You're going to do more harm than good if you, look, be responsible. Give the people in New Orleans opportunity. We ain't animals. I love us. I know Miss Neek love us too. We got common sense. Where else in the world can you go and do Mardi Gras the way we do it? Now, I know them youngins out there been tripping, but before them youngins was tripping, we was doing Mardi Gras safe in this city. We don't have the issues with the police officers like maybe neighboring parishes do, other places. Let us go and enjoy ourselves. New Orleans, we know how to take care of us. We've been taking care of us for a long time.
I just sent you on the whole tangent, huh?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, especially with somebody from somewhere else. Look at Chuck. He says she's tripping. And he says, I agree. She can put 10 to 25,000. That'll be 15.
I don't disagree that she could put people in the stands, but at the same time, it's not like she's the only city in the NFL that has decided not to allow fans in the stadium. Like it's I could see if she was the last one to say, nah, we're not going in. But there's a lot of stadiums that are empty now.
All these dictators walking around here. As if the game look like they're gonna just open the damn stadium and let everybody in.
There's a whole pandemic spiking right now. Like, and we're running up on flu season. So I don't necessarily disagree with what she's doing. I do think that it should be in moderation. Maybe they could start with 5, see if the spike goes up, then add another 5, and then consistently, gradually go up throughout the season. But I mean, I get it. I'm not gonna rebel against any government decision that decides to do something to try to keep us safe.
Okay, that's another show. That would have been a Love Sports Hip Hop topic. I ain't gonna touch too more of it, but look, anybody but Cantrell after this. I'm done. I'm done already. I'm done. We need to get some different leadership in office.
No, hi, this is Miss Neek with the Fifth Quarter. The Fifth Quarter does not endorse nor reject any political parties. Okay, guys? We do not. Okay?
Y'all heard what I said.
Do not take that as an endorsement, ladies.
Y'all heard what I said.
Or any type of knock against any political party, ladies.
She's more than welcome to come on the show. And I've actually spoken to her, interviewed her before. And before she made the mayor, how you meet people. And I've met actually the last 2 New Orleans mayors. I met them before they were mayors of the city, just humbly, just out in the street. Okay. And on my Facebook page, I actually had the encounter where I interviewed her. New Orleans East had a storm, and she was helping the people in the gym. And, I was working at Joe Brown at the time. And, I kind of went live and kind of asked her some questions to kind of help direct folks. And I loved her energy. And I think, she all right, but look, New Orleanians, you can't shut down our dome and not really be from here. I got a problem. We really hold that to our chest. You can't just do that. We opened the dome up the first thing after Katrina, and I was in that thing. It was special. It was beautiful. It galvanized the city. We said we was back. Sports has its place. I do think we should be responsible, but people should out there. Ain't nobody making you go to the game. You got to buy a ticket. The Saints only asked for $25,000 to go to the game. What the hell? Let the people go to the game, man. There's nothing wrong with that. We got low numbers right now. Let the people go to the game.
No, I'm not even gonna touch that. Because he is all way, you guys. I don't disagree with it, but I'm not gonna rebel against the decision. I'm just not. I just feel like there's just too much going on. You got a president that's lying to you about how disastrous this really is, so we don't really know too much of anything. And I feel like if she's on the side of being risk averse, she knows something that we don't know. So
yeah,
I'm gonna just let it rock.
I know one thing: if they ain't got no fans in there, October 25th, we should just go out there anyway. They just be yelling outside of the damn arena.
You gonna be out from outside the dome?
Do something. We should be out there. I'm telling everybody to hear my voice. Go out there anyway on 10/25. I'm gonna be watching from my house, cheering you on.
Oh, so you send them out.
Look, I got kids. I can't go to jail. And a couple of years ago, I could have went out there with y'all, but it is what it is right now.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that y'all up. Don't listen to JR Lee. Y'all are hyped up.
I got love for y'all, man. I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all, man. We gonna hold it down together. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's do this before we get out of here, because this is really, it's been good. We 3-2. We got to buy. We got to give the people, a good feeling getting out of today's show or tonight's show. And now that we've crossed over, we in a Tuesday now. It's we out here tripping too. But look. Panthers, Saints, that's the next game up. They got the Bears, they got the Buccaneers, they got the 49ers, Falcons, Broncos, Falcons again, Eagles, Chiefs, Vikings, Panthers. All right. Looking at the Saints schedule, and I'm going to give you some time to kind of put it together if you need me to. I'll go first. If you want me to go first. You want to go first?
Sure. What do you?
All right.
You didn't even ask the question yet.
All right. Well, the question is, what you think we do for the rest of the season? What's our record? How we finish?
Let me work through this. We have to win this next game. We have to win at the Panthers because we can't go into this Bears game on a loss. I think that's going to do too much to our psyche. So we got to come in hot in the next two games. Now, the Buccaneers game with Brady, I think Brady's starting to find his rhythm with his team. And we might drop that one. So I got us 2-1 going the rest of the season. 49ers, we're going to win that. That's 3-1. Falcons, we definitely going to win that. Mm-hmm. 2-1. We got the Broncos after that. I'm going to go ahead and take that one too. Falcons, I'm going to go ahead and sweep them. So let me see. Eagles. I feel like we can take the Eagles, and then the Chiefs will probably have to see Mahomes. So I'm going to take that 2. So that's the second loss. Vikings, I'm gonna go ahead and take that one, and Panthers, I'm gonna let the Panthers roll out on that one. So I got 3 more losses from the season.
Okay, not bad. So you end up with what, 11-5?
11-5. So I think at the beginning of the season I said 12-4.
Yes. So you're one down.
Yeah, now, I wasn't expecting that loss to the Lions.
Right. Well, we won. Not the Lions. Go ahead. I'm sorry. The Raiders.
The Raiders. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, I said 11-5 to start the season, right?
Right.
We had somebody on the show trying to be Stephen A. You know what I'm saying? Element, you know what I'm saying? While I respect those brothers for what they do, it's a little different. I'm gonna stick to my guns. I got 11-5, and I think 11-5 will put you in the mix to win a division, provided you lose the right games and win the right ones. Okay, and so. If you're looking for games the Saints can lose and it don't really hurt as much, the Chiefs and the Broncos are 2 games that they can lose, and it ain't going to hurt that bad. You cannot lose to the Falcons in a year where they're 0-5 and they fired their coach and GM. They're getting to clip people up on out of there, all right? You got to find a way to win those games. You got to find a way to beat the Bears. It's going to be a hell of a game. Sunday Night Football, Saints at Bucks. That's going to be big time, right? You got to win that game. But if you drop the Chiefs game, you drop the Broncos game because you'll be on the road, okay, I get it. But I think the Saints come out after the bye very strong. I think Sean Payton will look at the team. They'll get some things tweaked, and they understand what's on the line. This Drew Brees definitely has to make the playoffs, bare minimum.
You see us sweeping a division?
No, I don't. I still think we get to 11-5, but I was trying to find the games that we could lose and it doesn't hurt. Okay. Those 2 games don't hurt, but I think either the Bucks or the Panthers beat us. Somebody will. And I'm hoping it's not the Bucks. I can't say that. I don't want it to beat them. I would understand if it is, but I don't want it to beat them. And I ain't, overlooking the Panthers. With Teddy Bridgewater coming back into the Dome, wanting to prove that, hey, y'all should have kept me instead of Taysom. I could see him on one coming back home for that game. So
he picks up the first one. That's why I gave him the last one. I don't see him picking up our first one. So
okay.
I think he's definitely going to lose this first one, but he might come back with a vengeance at the end of the season.
Okay. Well, we got through it. Another 5th quarter. With Jailings and Miss Neek. You all right? How you feeling? You it's good to go into the rest of the week with the Saints win on a Monday night?
I mean, it's always good to go on a week with the Saints win. You know what I'm saying? We always always want to start the week off on the W, but we do have a lot of adjustments to make. We got some improvements that we need to work on over the next week and a half,
Mhm.
and see where we at when we match up with the Panthers.
Good luck. Good luck. Well, it's time for us to get out of here. You know who usually gets us out of here. So I'm gonna let you take the mic and say good night to all of the beautiful people out there.
You guys, we thank you so much for tuning into the fifth quarter. I hope you enjoy us. Geraldine stays up all night. It is midnight over there. He's staying up for y'all. So y'all gotta thank him for that. We will be back not next week because we are on a bye, but we will be back the week after that, October 25th, after our Sunday morning game, or it's like a noon game for y'all, but it's 10 a.m. for me. So we will be back after that game to come back to y'all with the fifth quarter. I'm your girl, Miss Neek. This is your boy, J.R. Leans. Catch us, if you haven't watched us live, catch us on the replay on YouTube, or go over to our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Love Sports Hip Hop, and just click the link. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Man, that was good.